Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Cave Factory. I'm really hoping you enjoyed the last episode. I had so much fun making it, so let's, without further ado, get into today's episode. I have made a few changes to pretty much every room we have here, because in the smeltery here, we now have a bunch of seared glass, and we now have two sets of these ingot casts. So we're pouring everything out into an ender chest that is going directly into our storage system. And I don't know why clay got in there and coagulated blood. So we basically can process ores super quickly. And I think still mobs are spawning inside the smeltery for some reason. And that's why blood is getting in there. So eventually you get like 250 millibuckets and you just pour out a coagulated blood. And in here, really no changes other than we now have an ender chest here, so everything we crush goes directly into our storage system. Then over here, I have set up a few farming bits. So we have our berries, our industrial hemp, a lot of different potato, wheat, carrot stuff, sugarcane that we had just like one of, and it's slowly growing, so we are slowly gonna get a profit on sugarcane. And then over here, I did set up an automatic kelp farm. In a way, I don't have the item collection just yet, so every time we're going to come close here, we're just going to collect a little bit of kelp. But basically, there's an observer on top, which detects and triggers the pistons. So if we just sneak here for a moment, you're going to see the kelp grow. Boom. We now have 36 kelp. So back here, I just have this red alloy wire from CB Multipart. Which is really nice redstone that you can stick to walls, and it just works super nicely. So that is pretty much it. I had this on a button before, but then I realized if I wanted kelp, I can just be here sneaking, and then I would have to press the button, and I can just be here, sneak, 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 get some kelp, because kelp is required to make the mechanical belts from Create, which is what we're gonna need fairly soonish. And the last biggest change is this room. I have reset up our blood altar, and I set up a little bit of automation. Also, I made some chisel and bits, and we now have a little tunnel that leads the zombies onto here. So up here, we have a 9x9 room with vector plates and our zombie spawner and a little lever so I can turn it on and off, again with the red alloy wire. So that is really neato. As far as the automation goes, these hoppers from Engineer's Decor have a lot of settings that you can add to. So I added it on the slowest setting for insertion delay, which basically means that if I insert a stone, it's gonna be crafted into a blank slate before another stone is gonna get in, because what hoppers can do without delay is they can fill this up to 64. It doesn't just have a buffer of 1. So basically, if it filled up at 64, you would have to fill up 64,000 buckets of blood. 64,000, buckets of blood inside of the altar to craft the 64 stone into 64 blank slates. And then if you wanted those 64 blank slates to turn them into reinforced slates, you needed 128,000 of blood. So that is kind of really not good. So what you do is you delay it. It goes 1, turns, and then another goes out. So I have just a pipe with a filter, and I can just select which ones I want here. On the filter, so that is really nice. And I have also this triggered with redstone, so if I turn it on, this one's gonna go in and it's gonna do its thing. So that is really neat. Mainly what I want to focus on today is unlocking RF power, and we can do that by getting some water wheels. And I don't necessarily want to set up water wheels because they are pretty bad to begin with, because they take a lot of space and don't produce that much RF as well. So I think I want to just stick with thermoelectric generators for the time being. I really only need power to power up a refined storage system, so we can start getting into automating everything that we need to with refined storage, and it's going to be really neat that way, other than trying to automate things with the simple storage network, which is kind of We are automating this furnace, for example. I can input items here, it pulls it. This guy is supplied with coal from this export cable, and this guy is imported into the system. So that is kind of nice, but it's not great. So water wheel, we are going to begin with that. And we are totally not going to complete this quest because we need to unlock the engineer cutter thing. Okay, so wire cutters. We need one of these. And we get an engineer's manual, and then we need to make a kinetic dynamo. by making a copper coil block, which is a whole bunch of crafting. It's just making the copper wire with the cutters, and then is that cutters, right? Yeah, cutters, plate with hammer, and it's just a bunch of crafting. So it's all good. And kinetic dynamo, boom, boom. Okay, cool, completed. We get 4 to 8 wire coil. We got 8. Nice. So what else do we need to complete to get into the water wheel? Okay, so do we need to get to the assembler? No, this is pointing in and this is pointing in. Yeah, we need the cables, right? What am I looking at? So we need insulated LV wire coil, LV wire connector, LV wire relay. For what we need to do, so LV wire connectors, LV wire relay, and then we need insulated coils, which are going to be tough fabric. 5 of those. LV wire coil. Cool. We get some more tough fabric and water wheel. Cool. We have completed it. Nice. So we can toss pretty much all of this in here for the moment. So thermoelectric generators. We need Constantan, which I believe we can make in the smeltery. Yeah, it's 1 nickel, 1 copper ratio. And currently the smeltery is busy processing a bunch of uranium, because I think you can use uranium blocks next to the thermoelectric generators to provide power. And it doesn't really show what thermoelectric generators can use. Maybe it's in here somewhere. Yeah, there we go. We have the thermoelectric generator hot and cold. So the opposing sides generate energy based on the difference between the 2 temperatures. The list below contains other non-fluid blocks which can be used as sources of temperature. Okay, so we can put blue ice for 200k, packed ice for 240k, ice to 73k. So we want the lowest amount, which is possibly blue ice. I don't know how much water is. And then we can use a block of uranium on the other side for 2000. So we'll see about that. As far as getting ice is concerned, I think we would need to get into Botania. Yeah, because we need to do snow next to or in an alchemy catalyst with mana pools, or the pressurized chamber thingy. And I don't think we can find ice in the nether. So we would have to go into a little bit of Botania if we want that. But we can try water for the time being, and we're going to see where it's going to go. I was looking through the quest lines here, and one thing that occurred to me is if we go down this road and get to the creative wireless transmitter, we get a creative controller as a reward, which means that we have to do one of 2 things. Well, 2 of 2 things, I should say. We need to go kill some wither skeletons, or possibly get the wither skeleton spawner in a way. We could get a wither skeleton egg, right? What do we need to make these fragments? We need withered ribs, bones, and wither skeleton skulls. And then we just need 2 of those. So that is very much doable, and an egg. That could be a thing. And then we need to get an elytra, for which we need to go to the end, which is going to be a little bit difficult, because to unlock the end, we need to go through the factory tech line. So we need to go basically all the way over here to make an arc furnace, which I think we might have enough resources to do. I don't know if we have enough power to create endstone. And then end portal frames are made with 1 endstone, or 2 endstone and an eye of ender to make 1. So we would need 12 of these, 24 endstone. And we need 512, I believe, RF per tick, if I looked correctly, to run this. So I don't know how many thermoelectric generators that would take, but I am going to make a few. And we're going to see if we can get this completed. So I think what I might just do is actually just go on a crafting spree. First of all, we're going to empty this out every so often, because it's... oops, I have steel in a compacting drawer now. I have to empty this because of slag. And here I have to empty it because of creosote oil to make more coal coke. But let's see how far we can get towards an arc furnace, shall we? So let's go on a crafting spree and just complete a bunch of these quests. After a whole bunch of crafting different components, we have a bunch of quests complete here. We have the assembler, which is going to get us an extracting conveyor belt. Metal press gets us a wire mold. Fermenter gets us potatoes. Refinery gets us HV wire coil. Squeezer gets us seeds. We haven't completed the crusher yet because we need 10 light engineering blocks. That can be done. There we go. We get some coke dust. And then the diesel generator, we need 4 generator blocks. I think that's doable as well. And there we go. I just crafted them off camera. But here we go. HV capacitor. And that also I'll collect the pump jack capacitor backpack, which is something that we apparently get. Let's toss some things away that I don't need. This and this. Okay, so now we need some space where we actually can set all of this up. So I think what we'll do is just up here, I'll put down another elevator right up here. And we can dig out a room up top, just so everything is kind of in the middle. And since we're gonna get a creative capacitor, we probably are gonna need to keep that power set up for power in terms of the base. So keeping it centralized should be fine. Before we start digging out the room though, I want to upgrade our tank because it's way overdue. So we have pretty much everything to go possibly to the diamond one. Yeah, definitely. Boom. And then the next one I think is, oh, it's just obsidian. Which we don't have, but we have magma blocks, which you can turn into a bunch of obsidian by tossing them in front of a fan with some fire. So I think we can do some lava, which I have in my thing. Hold on. Let's go here and let's set this up really quick. If we do something like this, where we have some water flowing in front of a fan with gears powering it, we get this little water airflow, and what we can do is we can cool off some magma blocks and turn them into obsidian. So that I think should happen fairly quickly because we have quite a bit of stress on the fan, hopefully. There we go, they're starting to turn, and bam. Okay, I think the stress units on the fan is just basically how far the fan will push, rather than how fast the items will convert. So, yeah, that might be the case. But anyhoozle, we have it now. I'm gonna have to reconnect our crushing wheel setup in a moment. But we now have a bunch of obsidian so that we can make the thing that we were wanting to make, which I have now forgotten what I needed. But it was somewhere here that we needed something for obsidian. It was for upgrading our tank. I had to look back into the clips for some reason. And the tank 7 is nether stars, which we are going to get eventually. But I think that allows you to store like nearly max amount of items in here. We don't really need to have that many items, but I am going to organize the ores once we have this set up. But now that we have this, we can easily go dig in here in total darkness. But I'll just dig out a giant room where we can set up all of our machines, which will be wonderful. As far as power transfer is concerned, we can use Flux networks, which are in the pack, but for that we need Flux dust. It's obtained by compressing redstone dust with bedrock and obsidian, and I don't know how exactly that works. It's left click the obsidian. You can do that with Flux blocks, but we don't have access to bedrock. Well, we might. It might be at the bottom of the world, but a mixer can do the same thing with 1 obsidian and 1 redstone dust. So obsidian and then some redstone. And we're gonna just figure out the entire thing by right clicking, but we need 5 of these. So let's toss in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. So that should make us 5 of these, which will be enough to make 1 flux block, I think. We might need it for the flux cores too. Yeah, totally. Hello, right click. There we go. Yeah. So let's just do this and this. We can easily make more obsidian. It's just some magma blocks. So let's go here, Eyes of Ender. I think I can craft a couple at least, because we did get some blaze powder, or blaze rods, I should say. So we can do flux core, 1, and then flux block. Once we get a few of that, there we go. Boom, boom. We'll just keep that crushing. So flux block, boom. Okay. And then obsidian, just the 1. So how does one do this? You take this, and then redstone. I don't understand. Okay. That make a flux thing? I did not see it. Hold on, let's try again. obsidian, stack of redstone. Ah, okay, and then it uses up the obsidian sometimes. Okay, gotcha, so that's neat. All right, so can I do just like, can I make flux blocks directly? No, okay, those are craftable. It's not the whole redstone recipe. Okay, cool. So I think we should have more redstone. Bam, 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 bam. Let's just grab a couple. And obsidian. So if I do that and I turn off my magnet, that, obsidian. Yeah, okay. Easy enough. Cool. Right, so I will keep this flux block right here in the corner so we don't ever use it. But now that we have all of this, we can make more flux cores. If we toss all of this flux inside of the network here. Okay, and we can make ourselves a flux block. And then we'll make a flux plug, which will receive energy from adjacent blocks passively, and then flux points. If we make a few more of these. Make 16, let's make a couple of these flux points. There we go. We should be able to transfer power wirelessly. So what we can actually do is, since we have more flux, let's craft up the flux controller and possibly basic or maybe a bigger flux storage as well. Okay, we have enough for a flux controller and also a basic flux network. If we grab just some glass and make glass panes. There we go. Boom, boom. Okay. So what we can do, we don't need to have this HV capacitor here, right? What we can do is we can just put down the flux plug and we'll put down the flux controller just somewhere in the corner, just so we set it up. And we need to create a new network. And we're going to say power and we'll put it green. Password doesn't have to be, it can be public, create power. Okay. So what we can then do is this guy can be power and this guy will have an input, I believe. Do you work directly with a cable? It might not. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll do HV capacitor and then we'll do this as an out, this input. And what we can then do is possibly put this guy here. Yeah, that connects. And I think it should be working. Output input. Maybe we put this down. There we go. Yeah. Haha, 4,000 FE per tick. I don't know if this guy will... Yeah, I don't know how much specifically we're making because this guy is full and it's draining. So this probably will fill... Yeah, it's full. So it'll fill up before we even drain. So we don't necessarily see how much we're making. Can we? Though? I mean, we're going to see that once we start draining the power. Probably. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, we have power transfer. So now we can start assembling different things from immersive engineering and not have to worry about power transfer because I was going to use cables. We can just use flux points directly on where we need power to be. Plus we have pipes mod and we have energy pipes. So as far as the thermoelectric generators go, we have 3 plus 4 plus 3 plus 4 plus 3. So that's 9 plus 8, right? Yeah, 17. So that's providing power. And what we can then do is we can increase the room if we need more power and more thermoelectrics. Eventually, I think we can possibly put ice down instead of water, and that might be better, but we'll see. So now I want to assemble a couple of metal presses so we can easily craft up the plates and the wires and all of that good stuff. And then we're just going to go one by one and assemble all of the machines as well. Really, the only machine that we need is the arc furnace. I was thinking we need to assemble the fermenters and the diesel generator and all of that, and that is just to create more power, but we have a lot of power from the thermoelectrics. So all we're going to do is we're going to place this guy down with the projector, which is super cool. It has been updated, and you have all of the machines here on the left. You just select it, for example, the arc furnace, and then you confirm, and then you can just shift right click on the floor and it shows you all the things that you need to build it with. So for example, here in the middle is a cauldron, and then here on the corners are some steel scaffolding. And then we need sheet metal of some kind that I don't have, which we will just create now. I managed to fully assemble the arc furnace, and there we go. We get super loud noises, and then we can just shift right click the arc projector here, and this is the thing. We have power inputs here in the back, and I think we can just add in a flux point, and that should directly power input. Yeah, we have full power. So now sand, right? We can toss in here. Is it not sand? Oh, we need electrodes, right? Of course, huh? So we need to make this thingy doodle, cocoon of caprice, which is a fell pumpkin, and then just some string. Boom, and I believe I place this down, and I feed it emeralds until it can't take any more. I don't know how many it takes, but eventually this should get us a villager in a while. And I should have probably done this from the get-go, because now I have to wait for this to spawn me a villager, and then we can put an anvil next to it, and we can get ourselves a villager that is going to trade us the graphite electrode type thing. Of course, this thing spawned a baby villager, so now I have to wait a whole bunch, 1,150 seconds. So that's like 10, 15 minutes or so, I think, right? 600 seconds would be 10 minutes. Am I not wrong? Yeah. That's 20 minutes that I have to wait for this guy to grow. Okay. 20 minutes later, we have a villager. I don't know if I should just start trading with him, or if we should, what does it say? Arc furnaces need to use blueprint to craft electrode. Subproof for craft electrode on level 5. Okay, so we do have to just trade with him a bunch. So I'll get more emeralds out, and we can see what level we can get him to. And there we go, he's level 5. We can buy ourselves some arc furnace electrode blueprints, which we can then toss in here. And that requires, what do you need? Arc furnace. That still requires HOP graphite ingot. But we get 100% integrity. Oh, okay, so we do still need to do the whole thing with the squeezer and the coke dust and the crusher. Right, so let's assemble the crusher and the squeezer, and I think we should be good on that then to make the arc furnace work properly. This will make us the crusher. The next thing we need is the squeezer for making the HOP doohickey into the other doohickey. And this will make us the squeezer if we right click at the right spot, and then we can just remove that. Cool. So now what we can do is provide power with a couple of flux points. I'm so used to being auto search on in kind of like a thing. Where are you, power? Power is here. Boom. Okay. That is going to do its thing. And then power for this guy is also right here. Cool. So what we can then do is grab, let's say, some sort of, we'll use scaffolding as we can. Okay. So coal coke, do I have any in here? I do. Let's do 32. So it's going to be kind of like a similar number. So we can do that. That's going to get crushed. And I think it's just going to, oop, maybe we turn off the magnet. Yeah, it's just going to poop it out the front, and it's supremely loud. So hold on. Let me open up this, and we can do industrial, no, immersive crusher. Can I just search? That's showing all options. Okay, so we can do diesel generator, dyer switch, flare stack, all of the things. Just disable it. Okay, cool. So everything's gonna be quiet. So now we have coke dust that's being pooped out, and we can toss it in here. And I think it should just get automatically compressed. Yep, there we go. HOP graphite dust. And I think we just smelt this into ingots. And then we need, I think, 3 total. So let's get a bit more of this in here. There we go. And if we go downstairs, toss them in here. I'm going to go back up top in the meantime. HOP. We have HOP graphite, toss it in here. Oh, we need 4 ingots. So we need, oh, I think we might have enough. But that's only going to get us 1 electrode. So we need more coke, is basically the case. After quite a bit, we now have 4 extra HOP graphite ingots, so we can craft the 3rd electrode. We're going to get 3 unbreaking books, which we're just going to use on this anvil here. Hello? Why does it say no? Why do you get unbreaking books if you... It says unbreaking 1 to 3. Anyway, okay, we're not gonna care about that then. We're gonna toss them in. Sand. Boom. It's doing its thing. It's making the sand into endstone. Can I do this? Yes, yes, yes. How are we on power? Is it draining super quickly? Oh, it's draining okay. We have plenty for what we need. So I'm just gonna turn possibly this stack of sand into endstone, because why not? We're just gonna do a bunch of this. And then with the endstone, okay. So it didn't do the thing because I didn't have all of the blocks on me at the same time. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to disassemble the arc furnace and then reassemble it. I mean, we're probably not gonna use it for much else. We could make steel faster, but I guess I have to disassemble it. Okay, fine. And there we go, arc furnace completed. We get HV wire connectors and stone completed. We get Eyes of Ender, and then we need to make 12 end portal frames. So those are gonna be some Eyes of Ender. So I'm gonna grab 16 of our blaze rods and we're gonna toss them through the crushing wheels. So we can, whoops, one too many. Crushing wheels, here they are. That was one of my graphite electrodes. Is that gonna even do a thing? Does it just destroy it? I think it destroyed it. Okay, fine. Eventually we'll get more coke. Okay. It's a good thing I made all the things that I need. Plus I kind of don't have any more space in these chests, so you know what we can do? Chest. Since we're using just the gold chest, gold to diamond. Boom. And then let's do, where is it? Diamond to obsidian. Boom. Just so we have 2 of the same chest. Cool. More space. We can toss all of this away. Okay, cool. So endstone with Eyes of Ender. Eyes of Ender. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We had 1 in the system, so we can do bam, bam. And we're in the system. Boom, 12 end portal frames. And now I assume we need 12 Eyes of Ender. Yeah, of course. Okay, so now we need to prepare for the Ender Dragon fight. So in here, I think we can easily assemble the end portal somehow. I believe it's time for an upgrade. We're gonna get a jetpack. And by jetpack, I mean the emerald jetpack, because why not? So I'm not gonna bore you with all of the crafting, but we need to go from wood to stone, from stone to iron to gold, gold to diamond, diamond to emerald. So it's gonna be basically the same crafts over and over again, and I'm just gonna do it off camera. And there we go, like 5 minutes of crafting later, we have an emerald jetpack, and we can toss this guy into charging unit, and it's gonna start charging fairly slowly, I think. Yeah, it's decent. So I can just let that be. And I think we're charging faster than we're charging slower than we're producing power. So it's charging at max possible speed. And I don't think we have anything else that can charge. Oh, you know what we can do? No, we don't need that. We're just gonna put it on. And in here, network, wireless charging, enable wireless, apply. Wireless charging. Inventory disabled, offhand, main hand, apply. Charging? No? Why not? Apparently, I had to place the Flux controller back, but this is now super fast charging, which I think it just drained everything, and we're now just producing as much power. We're producing 4,000 FE per tick with all of these, which is great. And it says transferring 256 FE every tick. So this just doesn't have a limit or something. But this is wirelessly charging, and we're not using power for anything else. So we basically have infinite power in our jetpack. Okay, so now I need to figure out the controls for hover and the thing, and we should be good. Maybe we need a range weapon. That might be a good idea. I used EFLNs from Tinkers for safe mining in the Nether, and I managed to get ourselves 7 ancient debris, and I believe one of these melts into 2 ingots, and molten debris can be alloyed with 1 ingot and 3 ingots of cobalt. So 1 molten debris equals 2, so we need 6 ingots of that, and that doubles, so we need 3 of those and 2 of this to make ourselves a bit of manulin. Also, I'm melting some obsidian, which we can then pour over some wood to get ourselves these nahuatl planks, which is going to be one thing that I'm going to use for a handle on our tool. So let's see if the ancient debris is going to do its thing. We have molten manulin. Cool, let's grab this. So in here, we can, I assume, do this in here. We cannot. Oh, wait. What? That cannot shape. Do I have to melt these? Oh, you know, I might have to just pour it over wood. Okay, hold on. I pour obsidian over a wooden handle. Yeah. Of course. Of course I do. So that will wait there. And then for the manulin, we're going to make a handle and also a small sword blade. And then the obsidian. Oh, the debris also gets doubled. Right, of course. We only needed 1 ancient debris inside of the thing. I assume I can pour it out into a block form. Maybe not. There we go. That should be fine. Okay. So in here, we should have everything we need. Yep, there we go. Okay, so netherite scrap and all of this can go away. And as far as the sword assembly is going to go, it's going to be this, this, and this. Manulin sword. +4 momentum damage. It has lacerating, so it's going to do bleeding damage. I'm going to toss it in, and then we're going to do quartz for sharpness. 2, 3. And then we can do the whole ability thing, which I need to figure out what it is again. One thing that we're going to do is we're going to add a golden apple, which is going to trade 1 ability slot for 2 extra upgrade slots. And we can then possibly add more quartz for more damage. There we go. We are now sharpestest. And we can possibly add more upgrades later at a later point. So this will just go into trash can because we don't need it. We have a cool sword, we have a bow, and we did get instant damage to arrows from this quest. So I assume the Ender Dragon fight should be fairly simple with our infinite charging jetpack. So let us turn off hover mode and let us try and do this. I think I need to do one more thing actually. Let's grab a little bit of this. Because everything needs to face inwards, and I think I placed them facing downwards in a way, so I need to grab this, which allows us to pick these up. And we're going to place them properly and open up the portal. I managed to open up the portal, but I want to just at least teach you how to place all of these. So you need to place them facing this way into that block, and then you place in the Eyes of Ender. See, it does the thing. So we have the end portal open. So let's go and see if we can kill the dragon. I think I'm just going to speed up the footage and you can enjoy with me fiddling around with the dragon. So I'm going to turn on hover mode just so we are ready. And here we go. And there we go. The end is now free. I also yoinked the dragon egg. It's super simple. You just right click the dragon egg, it teleports somewhere, and then you place a torch underneath it and drop it down so you get it in your inventory. And now in the questing thing, we should have a thingy complete. Dragon egg. Create a 2x2 pool of water surrounded with flowers and throw a dragon egg into the water to create a portal. Okay, so we have to make more dragon eggs, which is dragon scales in this. And to do that, we need to kill more dragons, right? Okay, in Twilight Forest, you'll need to beat a boss to give him to go to the next one. Okay. Good old sugar box to help you with inventory management out there as well as backpack. Here you get a backpack. Why do you get a backpack here? It's so weird. Okay, you already make a backpack by this point. So we could go explore the end for shulkers. I don't think we really need to. As far as exploration goes, or I think it was in storage is where we needed the dragon thingy for this guy. What did we need? For this guy we need nether stars and an elytra. That's why we went here. Okay, so we do need to go exploring. Okay, cool. So elytra it is. So the jetpack is charging up very nicely. So I think we're just gonna go and throw a pearl, which I have just one of, into one of those gateway dudes, this guy. And we're gonna see if we can find an end city. And this isn't vanilla. What kind of tree thing are you? Lucernia outer leaves. Lucernia bark. Villa looks. Must I silk touch you? Silk touched it. Better end forage. Villalux lantern. Interesting. Okay. Can I place you somewhere? Can I get saplings? I don't know. Ooh, also purple slimy island, dude. Other tree. Hello, purple slime. Or ender slime. Magnet. What can I use ender slime for? Okay, for over slime, it looks like it. Okay. I might just grab this. We get some sort of sapling. We had the ender slime sapling. Okay, cool. Now off to explore some more, I think. We found one. There's shulkers. There's things. We can get inside, hopefully. Just give me the elytra and possibly some shulkers. I don't know if we would need anything. Nebulous hearts. Lots of good books. Is that? Oh, that's from the same person who makes the whatchamacallit. The Botania things. The Botania music discs. Do we need shulker shells for anything? Also, I love that levitation just doesn't affect me because of jetpack. I don't think we need shulker shells for anything, but getting them would be super simple. Since we have a super sword. And I think, yeah, there's more end city. So I think I'm just gonna go raid this and see what we can find just from the chests. It might be good diamond armor and stuff. I made it back, and we can now start doing the crafting for which we needed the elytra for. So let's just get into it and get a creative wireless transmitter. So we get a creative controller, and then we can just basically have an infinite refined storage system forever. We are going to need some of these processors, so we need to make some processor binding, which is just some slime and string, which we have, and silicon is just smelted nether quartz. So in here, I'm smelting a bunch more of the quartz for silicon, and in the meantime, we're just going to get one of those processors, because for the quest reward, we need a wireless crafting grid, which requires just a crafting remote, quartz enriched iron, and advanced processors. So if we can find it, there it is, wireless grid, quartz enriched iron. Oh, we are quickly running out of space in here. So do we want, I have so many things. I don't think I need this. Okay, now things are going in. Okay, we need to get this quick because otherwise I'm just gonna be out of space. Getting confused. Give me a stack of this, please. Thank you. A couple of stacks. Should be plenty. Okay, now back to crafting. The processor didn't have anywhere to go, but we can take the processor and our crafting remote, and we can get a wireless crafting grid, and it charges up. Cool. So we get a wireless transmitter as a reward, and now we need to make a range upgrade, which requires a regular upgrade, which requires the gold processor. This is going to be the raw improved processor. We're going to toss it in here to get smelted. Boom. I don't think it's going to have any space to go, so we can do that. And then we need to craft an upgrade. If we get some glass, which we don't have. Do we seriously have no glass? We don't have any glass. We do have sand though. So we can get this cooking. Couple pieces of glass. Upgrade. And then we need to make a range upgrade like that. Boom. Completed. We get 3 more. And now we need to make the creative wireless transmitter, which is going to be 4 range upgrades, 4 nether stars, and the elytra. And I totally forgot about nether stars. We need to go into the nether. I don't think we have gotten any wither skeleton skulls. So I could go and just manually collect them, but I don't have looting on this sword. So what I think we'll do is we'll make a super beheading sword now. Actually, before we do, I'm just going to make a super basic refined storage system because it's going to be super easy for us to set up. So we do have infinite power pretty much up top, so we can just put a plug on it and it's going to work, and it's going to be better than this to store more of our items, so we're not going to have such a mess of chests, and that I think will be a little bit better. I made a controller and a basic disk drive and a crafting grid, so we have a storage system, and now I need some disk drives. Do I get any for a reward anywhere? I get a network card, crafting monitor that gets me a crafting upgrade. I probably am going to get some stuff. Storage monitor. Yeah, I just get parts. Okay, so let's just make storage part. I'm totally missing redstone because I turned off everything before I crafted everything. So I'll just make a 1K storage disk. Can I make you into disk? Disk. Okay, that holds 1,000 items. So we can start tossing everything in here. And if it is from the storage system or from the refined storage system, blah, blah, blah. What am I saying? If it's in the drawers, it's not going to go into the drawers because currently we don't have that connected. So the first thing that we really need to craft is an external storage and some cable and hook everything back up. The external storage is pretty much the same as the cable was, except priority here is just inverted. So higher priority means the items will go to places with a higher priority first, is what I'm trying to say. And if we just cable things over like that, we should see everything in the system. Awesome. Okay, we have a crafting system that is better than our previous crafting system. We also can put this somewhere in the corner. It really doesn't matter. So the furnace is currently disconnected, but we will reconnect it at some point. I just needed to smelt a bit of glass, but it works. We have a functioning storage system. So now I can actually go make the sword and go kill the withers. But I think we're going to do that in the next episode because it's looking to me like we're really, really far off into this one. So I think I'm going to end it off here. And with that, I want to thank you all so much for dropping by, so much for enjoying the videos. I am really, really happy with how the videos are going. The views are insane, so just keep it up, keep on what you're doing, keep on with the likes, the views, the subscriptions, everything. It's really, really been giving me motivation to do more work here. So I have also another question before we end the video off here. Would you want to see me play a vanilla-ish pack, but not on videos? I would do live streams. Because I have a server for a couple of my friends, and we're playing there together. When the base of the server is vanilla, but we have carpet mod and a few data packs that change a few things, just basically quality of life things, not really major changes to be honest, but it's really fun. I've really been enjoying playing on there. I have just constructed an iron farm today. So basically, if you want to see that, let me know down in the description. Comments. That's the word. Anyhoozle, thank you so much for dropping by. Thank you so much for watching. I'm hoping you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to hit the like button. You can also subscribe to get notified of when new videos go live. And I will see you all very close in the next episode. Have a good one. Bye-bye.